3, 2, 1, 0. This 2020 is the year of many twists in the education system, and we are ready to dissect all major issues with you. And that's because you are a great stakeholder. Great to have you on this show. This is your Four Walls on TV360 Nigeria, your first and only all-encompassing educational talk show. Let's see what's happening with our green board. So we have our classwork, which begins with almost a book review. This time we have Olaf Olafsson with his best novel, The Sacrament, before the preface to the topic, dealing with a slow learner. Then we have examination with our special guest before we do grading and assignment. Before we move on, let's see what's trending in the education sector. So the news is, the federal government of Nigeria has secured 220 billion naira loan from the World Bank for the implementation of better education service delivery for all. Now, this is a program for 17 states. The government said 13 states from both the Northwest and Northeast, as well as Oyo, Ebonyi, and Rivers State, will benefit from the loan. It noted that the loan would be given to the states as grants to enable them address challenges of out-of-school children as well as strengthen basic education. That's the news. So when we come back after this short break, we'll be doing almost a book review. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Sacrament by Olaf Olafsson. This is the novel to begin this year with. So we take you back to 2009, and the center character in this novel, Sister Johanna married. Not just a sister to anybody, but a reverend sister. She lives this quiet life in a convent in a rural French countryside, tending to her beloved garden and spending time with George Harrison, her rescue dog that resembles her favorite beetle. That twilight year is shattered. However, when a person from her past arrives seeking her assistance on a matter she considered settled 2 decades ago, the case of Father Auguste France, who leaped from a church tower to his death in Iceland in 1987. The letter from the sole witness of Father's death was a young boy who is now a man, and it contains the ominous word, "I didn't tell you everything." That is a great novel to begin the year with. It's full of thrilling suspense and magical extent of actions. So we continue with the topic of the show, dealing with a slow learner. Now, this is my opinion. Every classroom teacher has the problem or the nightmare of dealing with a slow learner. This is the reason why I had to bring Miss Jane again on the show, because she is a slightly experienced class teacher. Welcome to the show, Jane.
Thank you.
And to confess the truth, a slow learner in your class is a nightmare. You must agree with me. Let's begin with the slow learner now. Who is a slow learner to you?
A slow learner to me, forgive me, I'm a little bit under the weather. So a slow learner to me is one that has difficulty in intention, ability to comprehend, and had little difficulty
ability to comprehend or comprehend fast.
No, comprehend fast the activities of the classroom. And also, a slow learner is one that is trying his best possible to, he or she is trying her best or his best possible to blend in socially to know the other classmates, like the lifestyle, the way they do their things, and trying to be acceptable in the classroom environment or in the school as a whole. Yeah, that's a slow learner to me.
Some experts say that some slow learners actually are sociable. Leave them to play from morning till night, they would be active. But when it comes to academic activities, they would draw back to the background. Don't you notice that aspect?
Actually, they tend to, you know, try to engage yourself in something, things that they are comfortable with. For example, playing, trying to go out in your way. You're comfortable doing that. Yeah, they don't need to express yourself in front of anybody. They don't have to talk too much. They don't have to stand up to answer a question asked by the teacher. But when it comes to the classroom experience, it's kind of burdensome to them because they feel, okay, it's time for me to stand up. Maybe the teacher's going to yell at me. I don't have, she's going to ask me if I done my assignment and I didn't do my assignment. And she's going to ask me a lot of questions. And hey, I don't even know how to express myself. So that's it. To an extent, the slow learner, you can say, is one person that's comfortable playing. Yeah, leave them to play. They will play for you. They will play. They will do everything. And to an extent, some of them don't even play. They do not play. Some of them tend to withdraw themselves because the people you're going to play with, they won't play alone. They're going to play with your peers. So some of them have already withdrawn. They've had this withdrawal. So, and they're frustrated. They're depressed. They want, yes, most circumstances. But some just want to go out of their own shell and do whatever because that's where they're comfortable. You're not comfortable in the classroom. So,
slow learners affect other children. True or false?
False.
How would you say false? I have been in the classroom. I understand that trying to catch up, you know, draw them to catch up with the rest of the class because it's a slow pace for them. And you have these intelligent, smart kids in the class as well who are very fast, sometimes faster than the teacher. And you're torn between fast and slow
Trust
children.
me, every child needs the ability to retain what is being taught in the classroom.
We're talking about speed.
The speed does every child, every child has their own pace.
Okay.
So I don't know if the child, I don't think a slow learner will affect a fast learner. Maybe the fast learners rather will complain, grumble. But hey, this person is your classmate. So if you're in learning, it's not just about the academics. Trust me, you know, we have the values and the rest. So if you are a student, a good one at that, definitely you calm down and let your other peer try to catch up. To an extent, it can be frustrating to the fast learner, even the teacher. Even the teacher. But you know, because he or she is a slow learner, we have to take time, explain again and again, like ability to retain, because they have issues with retention.
Let me turn around this table.
Okay.
When you're spending extra time trying to teach one particular topic or trying to express one particular segment of the topic for a slow learner, then you leave the fast learners or the average learners to themselves, because you can't divide yourself obviously as a classroom teacher. You are saying that the fast learners are not affected psychologically. No,
they are not affected psychologically.
How can you say that?
Maybe basically they come to me and tell me, Mom, okay, Ma, you're talking to us and you're saying something over and over again. Now you as a class teacher, you have to make them understand that, okay, it's not about you alone. It's you all are in the class, and my instruction or my duty as a teacher is to make sure that all of you understand this. All of you understand. So explaining, that is why we teachers, we need to have the patience, because explaining it's needed for those slow learners a lot of explanation, so that they have their retention. That retention is the main thing, because they have little or no ability to comprehend fast.
Do you bother about their medical status?
Yes, because sometimes this slow learner sometimes is due to some neurological dysfunction in the brain.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it has to do with ailments, some kind of maybe slow birth, and some are caused by their parents. You know, where we have this left-handers and the right-handers, where the parents are trying to change the child to becoming a right,
to fit into
society, because you know in society, African society, they do not appreciate those using the left hand and all. They see that as disrespectful, so they try this, changing the child's hand, the mode of writing, or a child having this cross eye and all.
Yes,
they all affect. They play a role in the life of a student that is a slow learner.
Do you connect with the parents with this issue?
Yes, of course. That is why you're the class teacher.
What were the responses previously?
Let's say some of them say, okay, let's look at how it goes, but ma, please try your best possible to make sure that my child doesn't go backward and on. And I'm like, I'm no magician. So
okay, when we come back after this short break, we will see what magic most teachers perform and some of the magic they refuse to perform for us, the parents. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Corruption not in my country. Dalali, my business has been going down. I need your help.
Bawahala. I will show you the formula. I use some bad chemical which I mix, so produce the drugs which gives me up to 4 times profit. Imagine power.
So you are one of the people that is killing millions and millions of Nigerians in this country. Dalali, was it not you last 2 months that was complaining about the fuel scarcity in this country, that the government is corrupt?
Have I killed anybody in your family?
You don't have to kill any of my family members directly. Every Nigerian you kill is my family. Selling of fake drugs, expired drugs, putting drugs in wrong packets, all that are acts of corruption. This is corruption, not in my country. Fear here.
Me? Fake drug? Now corruption? Allah care.
Corruption not in my country. Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. Still with me is Miss Jane, classroom teacher, professional to the core, but we are discussing some of the nightmares that all teachers experience, dealing with a slow learner. So, Jane, a child is in the class, she or he is a slow learner. How does that, first and foremost, affect your own way of reasoning with children in the classroom generally? Because for a slow learner, he or she wants to be in a comfortable zone.
Definitely.
The other children might not make that zone so comfortable. Now, you must treat all of them individually because they are individuals.
Yes.
How do you cope in a class of 15 kids?
Whoa. Now that's some question. Well, as a teacher, the best thing is for you to, you have to study your students. You have to know your students. And yes, I have identified a slow learner in my class. And I have to love all children equally. Because now a slow learner trying to fit into the classroom. First of all, my mind is at alert. Okay, I have a slow learner in my class. Okay? And he or she will try to...
Sorry.
Okay?
Does that piss you off at the first instance, discovering a slow learner? Let's be realistic here.
Okay. Just a little.
Thank you. Continue.
Just a little. So it pushed me on because it gives me this edge that, okay, ma'am, you have to sit tight.
And you have extra work
on your table. You have extra work on your table.
And you don't like it.
Oh my God. As a teacher, you accept things that come to your table. So, and again, you're in charge of this student's life. You either mold or mar the life. Now, the long-lasting impression you're going to give the child, you, the teacher, you're going to be responsible for that. So, when I notice that, okay, I have this slow learner in my class, okay, I have to appreciate him for who he is. Even though it's really difficult, let's be truthful. It's difficult because as a teacher, you want everything flowing, so you don't have anybody taking you backward or this, that. But hey, you have to identify, okay, here's a slow learner. So what am I going to do? My instructional materials, how best do I bring them out? How come? Because these slow learners, they identify more with concrete things. Things that are concrete, yes. If you use your day-to-day experiences with them, and they'll be much more comfortable. Because when you ask them a question, and you say, oh, can you remember when I said something about that football match in school? Oh, yes, ma'am. So this is it, and you're comfortable. Okay. Now, aside that, you yourself as a teacher, you have to be disciplined. Because that child, that slow learner, will always want to look for your affirmation every time. Because others will not want to acknowledge with him or her. Because they feel that he's not my type, he's going to be slacking. So we are the fast students and all. So this child is going to be coming to you more frequently to seek for this, to seek for that, to seek for this. And you have to approach it with common sense. So that you don't say, okay, yes, do this, yes, do that.
And where does common sense come into your relationship with the school management, especially when they identify slow learners are not doing well in certain subjects and they are in your class?
Yes.
The pressure time.
The pressure time is mad. Especially when you have to bring down your old report card and you see red all over. You as a teacher, you tell the school management, okay, this is what I have. I have this student, he's slow, and this. What can we do? Yeah, the school management, if you're very, very quick to action, set up remedial classes. You as a teacher, you also have to sacrifice. Come on, that child is in your care. So even if the parents have made mistakes in the past, not trying to acknowledge the ailment or not trying to acknowledge the fact that, oh, my child is a slow learner and they want to push. When the child is supposed to repeat a class, when the child is supposed to do this, they just want to push so that he doesn't fall behind or she doesn't fall behind. Okay. You have to make the extra sacrifice. You have to go through, sometimes you have to go through the notes with them every time. Sitting down, writing, because most of them have issues. They see the words on the board, but to jot it down, put it down the same way, no. The handwriting, zero. So like you as a teacher, you're starting all over again to put some certain things right. Starting from the handwriting to the spelling and what have you. So it's a whole
quickly, what sort of language, before we close the show, what sort of language do you normally use for them to motivate them, to push them? What kind of language do you personally choose to use?
But sometimes I'm like, okay, I smile a lot. Like, I guess the smile softens the heart. You know, when you're really angry and, Mom, he did this, he did that, and be like, okay, everybody calm down. Okay, what did you do? And you smile, child is comfortable. Because most times, these children, slow learners, have difficulty in expressing themselves. They have rapid heartbeats. They're always scared, they're tense because they don't know. They have this issue in consoling their affections, their emotions. So you're either jealous, you're angry. So you as a teacher, as a teacher, I smile and I try my best possible to make them comfortable. Sometimes they even want to contest for positions like the class captain and the rest, and be like, and they show interest, and you can't say, put your hand down, you're very slow, you this, you that. No. Okay, you say, okay, sorry, you can't do this, I want you to do this. I think you're going to function well when you either do this or this. Yeah, but you're giving the child a little sense of responsibility. Maybe I'm slow, but I'm not that slow.
Okay, now a little sense of responsibility for you with our grading, because on the show we do grading. So we begin with the parents.
Okay.
Stakeholder number one.
Yeah.
Parents of a slow learner, what would you rate them with you? Like your class now, the parents of a slow learner in your class, how would you rate them?
I rate them 50.
No, we have A, C, and F. A is excellent, C is fair, and F is terrible. So how would you rate them?
I'm just going to be very, very good with them. I'll just give them a C.
Oh, C.
Yeah,
okay,
fair.
they're fair.
It's
now,
fair.
the school management that drops that pressure pot on you.
C.
Because they're not considerate most times.
Yes.
Let's rate you, Miss Jane.
Ooh.
Rate yourself. What would you give yourself for all your efforts so far?
I'll give myself a C too, because I'm still trying my best to know the students, to know them. I think that there's a lot more I can do.
Okay.
So I will have to do more research and try my best possible to find the best way to relate to them, bringing out the best in their hands.
The discussion continues on our Facebook channel. You go to Facebook, 4 Walls on Facebook, and tell us what a teacher of a slow learner should do in the class to make things better. Until we come your way next time, Miss Jane, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your experiences so far. God bless you. Bye-bye.